Discord. Okay, that part's good. Say something again. Yeah. Okay. Let me start the music. Okay. All right. Let me get in here. Sorry, it just takes a little while, and then people start streaming in. All right, but we can start. We can still keep clicking this. All right. Special? That would be wild, right? Let's see. Or double? I always get so hyped. Metallic. That's all right. It's not bad. But for flag spot, yeah. Take a look. Take a look at it. Oh wow, you auto recycle. Look at this. This is how it should be done. There we go. I don't even have that set up. I should. I just manually do it still. We'll save that for now. Take a look at it. Okay. So, so we have this assertives. Yeah. So what I was saying, the William Wallace, it's just worse. Like, there's nothing about that William Wallace, um, Leech March that's just better. But besides dueling, like even because for a time people were like, oh, but it's doing so much damage, whatever. No. I ran that. I ran that against 1365, and ran the reports manager for a significant amount of time to like compare it, right? And it's just not, So actually, the worst commander investment for that cycle. It's not necessarily the worst commander. It's just the landscape of it. Alex, yeah, Alex just pairs so well, and the biggest reason why and people like underestimate this is this like 3-second cooldown for the instant proc, right? This is a huge difference. This is actually why Delta formation, the butterfly effect, is not as good as people are making it out to be. Because the argument you can make is that, okay, you could add 20% to the proc chance when a combo attack goes off, right? So first the combo attack needs to go off, right? So like for Arthur, if you're running on primary, actually it could go off pretty quick because the expertise will trigger it. But that needs to go off, right? So you have a 50% every turn for that to go off. Then after that, then this will go off, right? So you could proc this faster, but when you have a cooldown, and Alex is only one with a 3-second instant proc. Like William is 5 seconds, Belly's 5 seconds. Like they're all 5 seconds, and then I think even Scipio is 5 seconds. You have Scipio? Okay. Yeah, right. Like even Scipio, I think is 5 seconds. No, it's 8 seconds, right? And if you don't have something that's at least 3 seconds or less, the butterfly effect mathematically loses a bunch of its value, right? So like, fine, you want to tell me butterfly effect is great. Okay, good. How does the cooldown actually change that math? Because if people don't understand like how much the cooldown changes the math, you can't tell me it's broken good. Because it's almost like going off of like subjective feelings, right? And not objectively like what goes on. If you want to tell me like per turn it can fire faster, yeah, of course. Right? But like even the current landscape with combo, 50% chance to fire a combo attack, and then that has a 20% higher chance to proc an instant proc, right? And then like if you're talking about say like over 10 turns, if a cooldown is 5 seconds, at most you can fire it twice, right? So if you have Alex actually with a 3-second, you can fire it potentially 3 times or twice. Like it actually changes the math a lot. And that's why right now, any pairing with Arthur on the field, Arch is actually better, right? But the hype is all about Delta, right? So there's actually, I was going to make a video about this. I'm not sure if I will. Listen, then what do you do, right? Because like right now, actually, Arch is better. Delta has way higher upside in the future, but because its upside is so high, I tend to lean more towards they're not going to release stuff with no cooldown like Luce again, so the march won't be too broken, right? Like once someone get like, I'm surprised no one has done this yet in an artifact KVK. If they actually pair Arthur primary, Luce secondary, run it with Delta, like it would be like probably like 30 to 40% better than the next best march that you could put together. Like the synergy and everything between the two with Delta will be through the roof, right? But like, are they going to release like a field version of this for Cav? Like, I would be very surprised, and if they don't, actually Arch will end up being better. And I think the way Delta is going to go is it'll be like probably slightly worse than Arch for the field, but better for rally garrison because the special is actually kind of designed for that. So like right now, like everyone's like, oh, Delta, Delta, Delta. Like I don't. It's actually kind of risky to do it. Whereas, especially for younger players, right? Which is you finished KVK 5, right? Yeah, so you finished KVK 5. So you're like actually you're I think you know. Uh, I would actually you actually want to pull one, right? So you have like one here for Delta. You got a rare. You got three in Arch, and then four in Wedge, right? Whereas like if you just pull one, you could be at 8 out of 10 for the pity right now, right? And then now when you started though, the ability to switch wasn't there, right? Like switch between formations. But even then, people were like actually like rolling their eyes when I said this like 6, 7 months ago. I think Arch is actually the one that young players should pull because it's universally applicable, right? Whereas like Wedge, okay, it's not going to apply if you're going to go Delta. I mean, you're going to go combo attack with Arthur. It's not going to apply for the best, by far the best March in the game. Anything with Luchette, right? So you're going to get it for archers. And then like at the time, True Damage came out, right? So that's not going to use Wedge. Like it looked like infantry was going to go more and more towards smite, which we'll see coming up. So then like maybe infantry will be off the table, right? So like for a younger player, I think you should just pull Arch. Now for you specifically, let's take a look at your set. So this is your Delta set, which you don't really need right now. You're running Joan Arthur, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, and then you have a Arch set, place, Wedge, it's fifth place, and that's actually why I liked your account looking at it, just because everything you did makes sense, right? So given your spend and then like how you went about building your account, it's way more common than not to start like making mistakes, right? But for you to not make many mistakes, or any, like the ones you did were very small and correctable, that means you put a lot of time into like focus on these things, or else there's like if you don't put time into studying this for a young player, there's just too many like bad players going back into like KVK2 and giving you crappy advice, all kinds of like stuff online. Right, so like that's actually like one of the main reasons why like we decided to like take a shot with this account, because you clearly put in a lot of time like thinking about it. Right. Yeah. I mean, I crafted this too actually. I waited 2 KVKs and I lost both KVKs, and at the time like armaments were very different, so I had to use like a coin on like robust for scroll, just because I felt like that like that's 3.5% health, right? There was a point where you couldn't even reroll the armaments. So after 2 KVKs where I didn't win, I'm like, I can't take this anymore, right? So I actually crafted this helm, and it's like I knew I was gonna end up dismantling it in the future, but I'm just like I just can't take this blue helm that I'm running anymore. I didn't even craft the purple one. I crafted the blue one. Yeah, so I mean like it's not even so much. It's just like as long as you know what you're doing and kind of like the risk reward, right? Yeah. 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 I would actually, yeah. So big boost. I'm telling you, laptop, PC, even a tablet. You'll. It takes maybe 30 minutes to get used to it, and then you'll never like go back. There's some like pretty high level players I know that actually play on a tablet. I've never done it, so I can't say. But like if someone else has done it, right, then like it can at least be done for sure. Whereas I don't know any high level players that play on a phone, right? So that's kind of the mhm, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you know what? With the third relic, I don't know, man. Like, not gonna lie, I was actually gonna get Cho. I think I'm okay with a triple relic Martel being part of my garrison until the next infantry garrison, or maybe even beyond. You know, and then like I don't know, but you have a double relic Alex, and you have Alex. Have you tried running Lucha Alex before and comparing it with William Wallace? Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 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 yeah. That's what people argue. That's what people argue with me too, right? And because I skipped them, I can only go off of what other people that ran it with a reports manager and actually did it like in earnest, trying to test it, could tell me. But against 1365, I actually tried it. It's just not better. Like it's not better in a ball. It's not better in any situation that I can think of other than a duel, which doesn't really matter for you. Yeah, like I don't at this point, like because I actually like have experience of it. I ran the reports manager. I looked at the report, like everything, and I calculated it. And that and it was the same, right, same equipment, same armament, everything. I would just run Lucha Alex. And it's actually not even close, to be honest. If you wanted to make an argument for Lucha Scipio or Scipio Lucha, and then Lucha Alex, it's way more valid. But Wallace is like running a distant third, closer to honestly closer to Gorgo Lucha than the top two pairs. Um, yeah. All right. So let's actually look over your armaments first. So you made it very clean, which is interesting. And then you have a double. Okay. So let me go over this for younger accounts, right? So like for and you're already like past the stage. So like when I'm talking about people that first get armaments, like what, like end of what is it, end of KVK2 you get armaments now? Or is it end of KVK1? I can't remember. All right. Okay. So when you first start out, you just have nothing, right? When you have nothing, it basically anything in the slot's better. I think the most universal one, or not, I think the most universal one is obviously Arch, right? Because everyone does white damage. Not everybody does skill damage. Not everyone does combo attack damage. Uh, but regardless, you want to pick one to pull from, right? I wish they changed this, but they didn't. So more often than not, you're going to end up getting the special off of the pity system, right? So if you start spreading it around, kind of like we did here, right? You have 3 here in the wish list, and then you have 4 here, right? It's you're working your way towards there, but it's actually like kind of like further. Let me just make sure you pick. Okay, so you pick Intrepid for this, and then you pick. I'll be shocked if you didn't, because you're pretty on top of this. Okay. Now, uh, between these two, and this is actually kind of true for almost all of them. There's some exceptions. Uh, it's actually two different power levels to me, right? So the scroll and the flag, funny enough, the two you can actually get semi-consistently. The scroll is the easiest, right? And then this you just get 8 shards every time. They're a little bit worse, and then the intrepid or fearless, right? Intrepid for wedge. So the emblem and the instrument are pretty close. Uh, Yeah, right. So like one is just straight up 8%. Like this is multiplicative. It's or 10% I think for is it 10% for Intrepid or 8%? I can't remember. Yeah, and then this one it's always two parts, right? So there's the first part which you get like a boost, but it's smaller. But then there's always like something else. I've always thought that it's not so clear cut that the emblem is the best one, right? But everyone talks about it like it is. But regardless, I think these two are this kind of the similar range, like power level. Um, and then for whatever reason, I feel like I always have a worse. My worst slot is always the instrument. Uh, the 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 percentage in math actually to pull like the troop relevant stats I think is actually the same on these two slots. Or maybe I'm confusing it. But for whatever reason, I always seem to struggle with instrument the most. Yeah, so yeah, let's take a look. Let me turn the music up a little bit. Yeah, let me turn the music up a little. Sorry. All right, so on the Nevsky. So this is the worst one for you would say. Oh, you have a lot of daring. Okay. Okay. Instrument. Oh, you just got a lot of doubles. Oh no, you got two doubles. All right. Oh my god. this is two worst doubles. The two worst commons you can get almost. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so but anyways, right? So when you start out, you just want to pull one, right? I suggest Arch. Some people kind of still stick to the whatever the advice was before. This is before, yeah, to do wedge. I just think Arch, basically, if you run out of these little conversion stones, right, it'll still be applicable to any march you convert over. Now, the best way to catch up is to essentially skip the middle part, right? So like right now, like, oh, okay, well, like I have two stats. I'm trying to get the third one, and then you start quote unquote shaping it. You're gonna put in a lot of transmutation stones and stuff to get something that's, like say like something like I wouldn't even roll something like this, right? Literally, I would slap this onto, like, say if you had like a Ragnar Scipio, I would slap it on there, but I would not waste anything to roll the third one because in battle it's like mid. It's not bad, but it's not good, right? And what you want to wait for the instrument and the emblem slots is at least a rare or like a good double, right? So like this one is pretty good. Okay, not because primed is good. Primed is actually, a lower tier one, but fit is like essentially, like fit breaker, and then like, yeah, that's like the best common you could get. So you put the two together, right? Basically, when it matters, you can get 5% more march speed and 3.5% health, right? And then you start comparing that with, say, like boiling blood. Like, which one's better? I think I probably would take boiling blood by like not even a hair. It's probably like 20% better. But like, you have two that are actually worth messing around with. Now, this is really good because it's universal, right? So you can actually roll it for anything. And what's cool here is like you actually haven't rolled at all, right? So like what you almost want to do if you're not sure like which direction to go, right? So like right now, honestly, you'll probably want to go Archer with this, because you have the boiling blood, right? And then infantry, you're doing Arch. Okay, so this, like, literally, you could put this on your Archer right now, and you can make a case that it's probably already better. Yeah, so if you actually here, I'll pull it up. Whenever you want me to see the screen. But the last video I did, uh, with the one before, right? Archer is actually the tankiest because it has the best balance of defense and health. So like ZL Herman is actually my tankiest March statistically. The problem with archers isn't that it's not tanky. It's that one, it's not fast, and the two, it's really, really targeted. Right? So like, if you want to make a case to make it a little bit faster, that's actually, that will help you more. But like, it's already your tankiest March. Like sacrificing some archer health for 2% all damage is like more than worth it. Right? Like, no. No, like so like I mean, it depends how you want to well, here I'll phrase it a different way, right? So what's your concern about taking away health from ZL? Like, he's going to be too squishy? Yeah, 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 yeah. So another way to think about this is, so for example, Arthur Phillip pumps out a crap load of damage. It actually does more damage in short and long duration fights than like Lucha Alex, right? Like Instant Proc King. But it's very, very squishy. So when a March is squishy, right, and like people that run XY will know this, uh, even if you're not like in a smaller vault where people could just target it directly, right? You're running all the marches, and then you just look, all of a sudden your XY is like yellow health or red health before the other ones, right? Because it's taken a lot of like incidental AoE and stuff, and it's just not able to tank as much of the damage, right? So that's actually where squishiness comes in. The reason why archers are going down really fast is one, you have ZL with no March speed, right? So like for example, I was running like Asher Benepal YSG earlier today. That March is just I hate it. I hate Asher Benepal YSG because Asher Benepal's March speed is when you're off territory, right? And sometimes like if you're on territory and you're trying to retreat, like you have a huge movement speed advantage on territory, and you get a little extra movement speed from, you know, even like Boudica, like 10% or something, right? Like you feel like you could get away. Whereas like with Asher Benepal at YSG, I'm on my territory and people are just chasing me down and wiping me, right? So one, March speed is a problem. And then two, everyone sees a little archer or cursor, they just target it, right? Like even when you're doing not mode, they target it. So making it a little tanky or not isn't going to affect that much because they're still going to go down, right? But like its archers are tanky enough. They're actually the tankiest troop type because of their balance of defense and health. That the incidental AoE that you could take, where this March is squishy and it's going down faster than the other, that won't be an issue for archers. So just because it goes down a lot, right? Like archers have the reputation, like just because you don't have much health on this, I don't think would affect you that much. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Samurai, let's see, what is this? You would say that on a March, like a ZL with YSG, March speed is more important than health? Oh, for sure, SG, unless you're in a Orleans KVK or something. It's when you're just too slow, you have to like not make any mistakes. And even when you don't make mistakes, sometimes you just get wiped, you know? So like a lot of the effectiveness goes down. And also something else to think about, Samurai. So when you make contact, the first March to make contact, so usually that's a cap, right? If it's too fast and it's making contact ahead of your other marches, it'll make contact and it'll just fan out, right? If you have like 5 marches, you know the march just wants to surround the target and it's going to get into a bad position. If it's fanning out way too fast, then it will get in a bad position before the other marches get in a position to hit it. Then it actually takes away almost like your overall ball effectiveness, because it becomes way more work, and I don't think it's worth it to essentially micro your like fastest march and then the other marches, and then like keep doing that, right? Like it's just ideally you're just controlling all your field marches at the same time. But the slowest march, so and then if you have ZLYSG, it's going to be the last march. It actually is also going to fan out. So not only is it going to connect the slowest, but then it also will start rotating into the worst position on the other side. That's why, like, ideally for your marches, you want the march speed to be pretty balanced. Obviously, some will be a little bit faster than the other, but you don't want one to be so much faster than the other or one to be so much slower, because it actually makes microing or controlling all your marches a little bit more difficult. So I personally, like ZLYSG should do a lot of damage. If it's not targeted, it's fine, but it's just because, like, that's why march speed is so important. You don't need it to be really fast. It can actually be too fast. It just can't be below a certain threshold or above a certain threshold. And if it is, it actually takes away from your overall effectiveness. All right, so let's take a look at this actually. You have even Q. Yeah, so like for sure, I would actually put this on your archer. That's probably one we're gonna roll today. And then here, you already have a metallics. Okay, and you actually rolled 10 already. Okay, so this one, it actually might be, because it's fairly easy to get 2 stats, right? So you almost just want to kind of roll and see if you get lucky, and then you actually have an assertive. Okay. Another option is to put assertive here, and then you already have like a really high upside one. And the reason why it's worth it is because this one you can eventually, if you get good triple stats, right, you could put a flag over this, and you could put a special on it, right? So like if you shape the stats for this, and this is a pretty good starting spot, ideally you have 2. I'm just kind of talking out loud. I'm not going to do anything right now. It could be worth it. This one we just haven't recycled. Is your Hera max? Okay. Okay. What's your conversion stone at? Let's see. You have 9? Alright. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal for you right now. You actually want to actively use them, because conversions, another way to think about it, conversion stones for you right now is just a way to kind of like quickly catch up in armaments, because now you can pull one and then like switch to another, right? Whereas like if you didn't have that before, like I kind of hate saying this, right, but it's a catch-up mechanism, because it allows you to like catch up to people that had way more time on armaments than you, just pulling one, right? And then in the future, once you kind of caught up, then you want to save them for to move specials around if you have to, right? Which is like 10 at a time. But for now, that it's actually worth using to kind of get everything set up. So your Hera is not close to being max, so it's not worth it. But like when you get a chance down the road, I would highly recommend doing a Tercio, because this one is so easy to do, and it makes your city garrison so much better, right? And like being able to put a random TP, especially in the earlier zone, is actually a huge advantage, and I think your spend will be high enough to do it in the future. Yeah. 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 Okay. So let's see. Yeah, but that's something that you're right now. You just need to actually catch up in commanders. All right. So I'm thinking, let's actually walk over some of the armament stuff, and we'll kind of talk about some like big picture commander stuff. Equipment wise, honestly, I think you're actually, you know, like exactly what you're doing. I don't even think we need to talk about that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 You have any you don't have any extra iconic crystals, right? Let's see. So you're missing. So you're in 3 marshes. Okay. Let me see. What's up? Yeah. Okay. You already have pretty much the. Yeah, you for sure want to go Cav next. But you just do the dailies for Hua, and then just Hua, Arthur, and Nebjone. Um, Now as far as equipment, you get 5 iconic crystals at KVK. You have the weapon. I think for honestly, because your commanders are ahead of your equipment, like basically you're already actually halfway like to your 4th set. I'm a 4th march, right? Like commander wise, and you have like 500 something gold heads already, so you'll actually be more than ready by the time the next imp comes out. I would actually start building your cav equipment now. You know, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, the good news is, yeah, the good news is you can definitely you can definitely wait long enough to find out what the next infantry is. The Let me think. It's just hard. It's hard for me to see the second infantry march with William Wallace being better than your second cav march with Nev Joan. I here's a problem. Here's why, right? Like if you do an AoE Smite Commander, uh, it would be too broken. It would just be too broken with Luchet, right? Like it's like okay, we just kind of let Cavs catch up, and now you're just like sending infantry like even further ahead, and then archers are so far behind compared to that. But like this cycle, if I had to take a guess, right, just to kind of even it out, the archers should actually be the strongest, and then followed by Cav, and then the infantry should probably be the worst. Um, I mean, it's actually a good call on your part. Like I'm kind of jumping the gun because I forgot like I forgot you're in Kingdom. We're not going to KVK for a while. You can actually save and find out. But like I would actually the thing is okay. Then you're going to be gathering blueprints, right? So you could get ready to craft it, do you gather infantry blueprints or do you gather cav blueprints? Yeah. For both? Okay. And then yeah, just wait. Why not then? Oh yeah, four. Oh my god, 4 Ash of the Dons. Oh yeah, they're probably the con waiting. Yeah, you craft this, and then you could just rotate the cap helm to the second one. Yeah. No, waiting is definitely the right call, right? Because there's no rush to do it now. I would guess. I would be shocked if it's infantry. I mean, it'll be nice, because like for some reason, like I don't think I have like a troop type. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I like infantry. You know, I don't know why. I don't consider myself an infantry main, right? I have like 222 and then like a siege set, but like for some reason, I've always just kind of like liked infantry commanders and stuff more. If you had Scipio, I think I would actually be a little bit more confident on the second infantry. But with William Wallace, I'm just not, because it's very narrow. Like what could pair with him, right? You have to have Smite, you have to have AOE, and if you have a Smite AOE infantry commander, would he be so good with Luce that it's just worth it to run that together, right? As opposed to separate them and then run it with Williams and then in lieu of like say like Neptune, which is actually still like very solid at March. I guess we'll see when it comes out, but I mean for sure I think it's either going to be infantry or cap, right? Yeah. No, it's like he's good. It's just the yeah. 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 By the way, what? Yeah, when you get a Hua expertise, it's ridiculous to me that people are recommending to not expertise them. So here's like you know the you've heard of it before, right? People are like don't expertise Hua. Okay. I've never actually used them before this 960 KVK. So everything was theory cut. I've used them with and without the expertise. You're taking away what makes people love them by not clicking this expertise button. Okay, because if you're saying in combat, right, which in a ball you are, this autumn wind only triggers when you leave combat and then you re-enter combat in the first 15 seconds. Right, so the argument against expertising is, oh, you don't want to drop rage. Okay, so you're scared of dropping rage, and what you're sacrificing is you don't get this big heal. You don't get the extra 1500 heal every time, right? When Hua is at his best, his troop count is just way higher than all your other marches because he's just stacking kills. He's healing, right? And you have a lot of sustain on the field, right? You can even send the other marches back to like refresh, and he's still like white and like doing more damage, right? And also every time you trigger the autumn wind, you actually get like more skill, like you just get more of everything. And it's an 8-second cooldown. So if you kill one and it resets, then you actually have like another like 7 seconds to kill as many other like troops as you want and not reset it. Like I just, this is actually what makes people like him, in my opinion, right? Because they feel like he's doing a lot of damage because he's just on the field for way longer at a higher troop count. And then there's like a insignificant group of people that's recommending to not press this. It's crazy to me. Like it makes no sense to me. So I would highly recommend you expertise them when you do. Not at all for you, because like you're like, you know, with your spend level, right? Honestly, you should be getting Hua, and then depending on where you go for the next, if you're going to the next cab, I would actually just finish up Joan. Right? If you're if you're for some reason the next infantry is like broken good, and then you decide to go infantry, you then I'll kind of have to see how good this commander is, like, and then synergizes with Scipio. You might even go Scipio and then you finish up Joan, but you do want to finish up Joan. You don't want to run an unexpertise commander really in the end game at a higher level. Yeah, that's what content creators like to make and talk about. You know, yeah, you need these commanders to be expertise, like when you're fighting at a higher level. You know, it's yeah. And the good thing is, like, Herman is probably actually more complete at 5551 or like 270 gold heads in Joan, right? Like 5551 Herman is better than 5515 Joan relative to like their complete form. But I would actually still expertise Herman. I wouldn't expertise Herman for you though, because by the time it's even like something you can consider, we're talking about the next archer, right? So if you're the next archer, hopefully you're ahead in gold heads and you're not wasting it. And then Herman will be something where maybe you actually do through the dailies by the time he's available, right? So basically, you don't want to backwards invest for your gold heads. You almost like kind of work on these commanders with the dailies as they come out. And so right now you have Hoa, you have Joan, maybe Scipio, maybe not, and then like maybe Herman, right? And by the time you get there, that decision will be a lot more clear. But what you don't want to do with your gold heads is backwards invest. So you want to be ready for the next inf when it comes out. Now, you know, depending on when we go into KVK and everything, obviously, like, don't instant max them, because there's all these just like random events where you can select a commander, right? You just select the next inf and get as far as you can to save your gold heads until fighting, and then you go in on them, right? Ideally, you always have like one commander that you're kind of working on, which might be Heraclius for you when you catch up. So basically, all your field commanders are caught up. Okay, well, now you have an event, you have alliance mobilization, you have whatever, right? Well, put those extra heads into Heraclius and work on it that way, right? And then there will be a point, I promise you, when you get far enough ahead where it makes sense to just dump some gold heads into, like, say, Heraclius to finish them off, but then you're still on pace to just kind of keep up with the next like field commander. Yeah. 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 Low ADD. Yeah. 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 Well, because if you don't know, if you don't do Huo right now, who are you gonna do, right? You're gonna do Joan. Joan's a better commander than Huo. Yeah. Well, so for example, right, that makes sense if you're going to do That makes sense if you do 2 caps, right? Or else like it actually honestly like probably should just be like gem. But I think I think you're probably going to be pigeonholed into not even pigeonholed. I think it will end up making more sense for you. We'll wait till the next commander to like for sure. But if I had to take a guess, just the way this account's set up, because you have William Wallace. I think you're probably going to end up going 2 casts first, which is like not a bad play at all. Casts are the deepest, right? Like you're not like it's not like a mistake or anything. But it's because you have more. It just seems like you have more to work with, as far as like half commanders right now, and also, yeah. But again, we you know we'll know by the time you go into KVK like what the next infantry is. Terminator, yeah, it's a stream one. I usually just record off stream, but we decided to just do stream today. Okay, so right now just keep working on the dailies for Hua, and then we'll see what the next infantry commander is, whether you're going to go inf or cap. But I would actually save all your materials right now, and just wait, so you could have like a 4th March like ready to go whenever it comes out. Okay, so let's take a look at this right now. We'll actually look through it. This is by far the cleanest armaments I've ever looked at for someone. All right, so these you didn't. It's just because I opened that. Honestly, how did I not recycle these yet? Oh, because of the inscription on them. Okay. So one of them. Okay. So I can recycle this, right? Yeah, none of these are that useful. Okay. So we'll make some. Well, I think we'll be able to make some upgrades. But because you did such a good job, actually, it'll be harder to make as big of an upgrade as some of the other people. Where's your... Yeah. 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 Craze you, craze you need something like an instant proc probably for it to be worth it, or like combo attack. I could see it being more valuable, but then again, if you're doing combo attack, you're not doing craze, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's start like manage my own account. Waffle, how much better is 2 cav and a 5 march than 2 archers, assuming you'll have 2 inf? I mean, it depends on what archer commanders you have. I don't know if you saw it earlier. I think the archer in this cycle will be the strongest commander. It almost has to be to kind of balance out the troop types, right? So if that's the case, and you have ZL, Herman, and Asher, right, and this new archer comes out, like you might be able to make a case that 2 archers is the way to go. The way Kerr, I think, will eventually end up running at least 6 marches. So really what you want to get to is like a 2-2-2, right? So if he goes cav first, like it's not that big of a deal, because he's still going to go infantry at some point, right? And then probably going to go archer at some point. So cav is also usually the most future-proof one. I don't think cavs have ever been bad, right? There's been times where they aren't the best, but they're still like more than good enough because of the march speed. Whereas like other commanders, you could have to worry about, okay, well, this commander doesn't have march speed, so it's becoming really limited. Cavs don't have that issue. Okay, sorry, what were you asking, Kurt? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's a couple of different thought process for this. Okay. Well, so one, people tend to want to like build like a superset. You know, just kind of like how like people kind of like once to get somewhere they want to specialize like one set where like you have a crit, one set crit. Um, I think for people that are looking to field fight, what they're looking for is for their top three marches, one of each troop type, right? So like archer, cav, and infantry, whatever could give you the biggest upgrade there, right? So it's actually not even so much like it's 100 better. It's like, well, what do you have in that spot right now? So you have a crazed here, it looks like. Um, wait, you have a craze and a double craze? What? That's that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's nothing really that synergizes that well with Phalanx. At the at least, is there something maybe with like Hero or something? I don't know. Okay, but anyways, yeah. So anyways, you're upgrading Crazed, right? Or you're upgrading from a Crazed Phalanx or a Battle Ready. I think, right? You have a Battle Ready. Oh no, no, you have a double. So the biggest upgrade would obviously be the Crazed, right? On Zooch. Now, but the other one, which I actually think you should start thinking about, is the actual stats, right? So, like, if you have, for example, right, like if you were gonna get like a hunter or a destructive or whatever, which one would you put it on? I actually would want to put it on this one because it already has two really high stats. I'm just gonna roll a third stat, and then it'll be closer to like a very high level special inscription, right? Because like if you put it on, say, like something like this, right? Yes, it's a special. You have triple stats, but it'll be kind of annoying like as you get further along because one, it's hard to upgrade, right? You could literally roll like archer health and it's be lower, whereas like two, it looks better, but it's only 0.3 high. Like, is it worth it? It's not really. So if you can actually start from a better place, it's something that like as you get further along with your armaments, the chances of you needing to do anything with it will be less and less, right? So like, if I was actually gonna, me personally, if I was gonna put a hunter on something, knowing what I know now, I would actually put it on this as opposed to the craze, because like I don't have something good enough right now that like that is like essentially like a very like real like end game thing that you won't kind of regret and want to update, right? So like if you put it, you could upgrade more here, but this is a better long-term play, right? So like if well, I don't pull on my account now, but like some of my specials are on stuff that are well better than this, but it's like middle of the road. It's like okay, but not great. And I kind of wish I actually went the other route, or I just pick high upside stuff. Which is why like I always talk about saving the high upside ones, especially for scrolls, right? And even the banner, the bottom right, just because you want high, like really high triple stat ones to put it on. So like this one, the 1.8% all damage is a really good place to start from, and you can start messing around with that. But I think I saw something on for your arch. Let me see. Yeah, right. Like so, like this, like it's something that I would even be willing to mess with. I don't know for a special, maybe, but ideally you have two pretty high ones, right? So that's something to start worrying about too. Is just like save the high triple stats, and I think you were showing me, was it instrument or scroll? It was instrument, okay. These, right? There's no way to really inscribe the specials over these now, but I think it's like I think if you're a betting man, you're gonna be like, okay, in the future you probably will be, right? And then like you just slap it onto here and you're good to go, right? And actually, I would do this one. This is like, this is out of control, you know. Like you're It's yeah, like if you can ever put a special on an instrument, like I would literally change my wish list to this just so I could get on here, and then like I'm good, I'm done. Right. So like my thought process has switched a little bit from like if you asked me 6 months ago, because like now I'm getting to a point where the stuff I was willing to put on a special before, I just have like higher upside ones now. I'm like, damn, I wish I could have did that instead. What are the chances you're gonna pull a triple stat that's better than this, where you kind of regret putting your instrument special inscription on it like before, right? The chances are just a lot lower, right? So three thought processes. One is to really specialize on one troop type, which I don't think you should do unless you're rally garrison, even though some people just, you know, they like that because they really like has, or they really like infantry, they want to get set. Two is where you could get the biggest upgrade, right? So like right now, like this is your scroll for cav, this is your scroll for archer, and then the other one's battle ready, which is actually like better, right? Well, the weakest one is here, so if you actually put it on another like archer, right? But like it would be the biggest improvement, but it will be the biggest improvement now. But like you get fast forward 6 months, you'll be like, oh damn, I wish I actually held out for something that's higher. And so I would actually go with option 3. Boba, how young is the account? His account is, you finished KVK 5. It's a 167 ID. Yeah. Waffle. Right now I run LC Alex, Scipio Ragnar, Nev Arthur, ZL Phillip, and Ash Herman. All right, that's pretty solid. I did not have good experience in Nev Arthur. It was like surprisingly bad for me, and I was actually planning on running that. I gave it as like 2 days worth of chances in a bunch of different scenarios, and it just performed like the worst. Like actually worse than my other cap march with better equipment and better armaments for some reason. You know, so that's actually part of the reason why Kerr, I don't mind you going for Hua and actually finishing him out, because pairing Hua with Arthur and then Nev Joan will actually be a better two pairing than doing Nev Arthur long term for you. You know, I know he's done right now. Like I would actually probably still do this over the incomplete Joan. But long term, I would like to move Arthur off of Nevsky and pair with either Joan or well, 400. Boba guesses your 420 days, 544 days. Yeah. I like Invincible a lot. I think Invincible, to me, is clearly better than Balance. So Invincible, basically, as whatever you're hitting, his health gets lower, you do more and more damage, right? So if they're like at 20% or below, you're doing like 12% more damage, which is like white damage and smite, which is crazy to me. And then it's pretty big skill damage resistance. Whereas for Balance, right, you're getting normal damage resistance, which you like, you know, still there's still just more skill damage on the field than anything else. But also this part will only probably apply to the first active skill and not the second active skill. Right? So I don't know, like to me, Invincible is just better. But kind of like going off what I said earlier, I'm pretty strongly in the camp now. Like you want like a real in-game stuff. Like when you put it on there, you're happy that you did it, right? So like for you, you have one with 3.3 health. This one might be worth, but if you had two that were higher stats, like it's just so much less resources to get there, right? So if you had something with a banner that was really high, which I don't think I saw. Honestly, like it might be, it's like, oh, what do you put on here? But this is already pretty good. Like I would actually I will probably wait as long as I can to pull something better. But if you had to like give me like okay, like under the head, you have to pick now. I would actually probably choose Invincible and then shape this one and start working on that. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. No, 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 no. This isn't your health. This is the person you're hitting's health. Yeah. Don't worry. I actually thought that too. Right. So for every 20% of its unit, a target troop has lost. So what you're targeting. So as they get lower, you're doing more and more damage. So you're actually like wrecking them more and more. Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought before too. I'm like, dude, this sucks. And then like someone else, like someone I was mentoring, this is like early on when it first came out, and like everyone was pulling Wedge. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know like Invincible's that good. And she was like, no, it's for them. I'm like, oh, well, one, I feel dumb. But I'm like, that completely changes it. This is way better. Oh. Wait, you can't hear his voice? What? Let me see. Oh my god. Okay. Oops. Okay. Say something now, Kerr.
Hello.
That's my bad. Okay, I turned off one mute, not the other. Yeah, nobody corrected me this whole time?
It's on to
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, it doesn't matter that much. All right. So yeah, so Invincible is just better to me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm total agreement.
Okay. Okay. So when you get a special, let's see how far are you here? You're 87 away here. I would actually only pull Wedge for you. So you're probably like, again, this is just like, you always have to assume this, right? You're assuming you're just going to get really unlucky and you're literally going to get a pity at special at 10, right? You're like 190. Wait, let's do that math right. Yeah, you're 190 legendary armaments ahead on your Wedge. Right, so you just keep pulling this. Getting the Intrepid's fine. Like, honestly, you could probably select Instrument. For you, yeah, I would do Intrepid. Yeah, because upgrading over the...
Funny enough,
Go ahead.
I haven't really pulled Arch a tremendous amount.
Oh, you got through by luck.
No, it was
Yeah.
from the event that is out right now, that Armament event.
Yeah.
I put a lot of gems on that one time, and I feel like I pulled like 2 specials, or not specials, rares. Yeah, I learned.
Oh man. I mean, that's
However,
good. Okay, yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just the luck, right? Like mathematically, it's just, I mean, they're all equal chances. So,
yep.
You know, you're still 190 ahead from Wedge and Arch. Let's see, what are these people saying? So would you say that swapping Balance to Invincible is better? I think Invincible is better than Balance, but it really depends on your situation. Nehemiah, like it depends on a lot of factors, you know? Like if you already have like a better alternative for Arch, like just say you have a good double on that banner spot, is it worth it to switch it over? Like no, right? Because you already have something that's still really good, just not as good as Invincible, but like you're almost like, I want to say downgrading, but you're losing a lot of value if you do that sometimes. Cav Armament question, you have a Boiling Blood. Oh, the one with Boiling Blood, Jonathan. So you basically have a lower triple stat and a boiling blood, and then a high triple stat with no inscription. You always want to go, almost always want to go in the inscription. And like a easy way to think about it is like, even like metallics, right? Which is like a solid inscription. This is 3.5 defense. If you got 3.5 defense here, you'll be ecstatic, right? So like it's actually matching like the best stats. You know, if it's even a solid or better regular inscription, right? So like you want to start with where the upside's the highest, which is the inscription, and then go out and then worry about the stats. Whereas if we worry about the stats, especially in a slot where you can inscribe over it, like overall it's not going to be as good, right? So you can actually have a good inscription and then like 2 mid stats and like 1 irrelevant stat versus like a good triple stat. It's more aesthetically pleasing, but from a number standpoint, the inscription with 2 stat 1 will almost always be better. Logos Monger, was Invincible your first courier? No, it was not. I bought a balance. Invincible is my second courier purchase. Do I think Joan or Nev is better with Arthur? I think Nev Arthur is very underwhelming for whatever reason. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why. I was actually planning on using it. It was just very underwhelming. I used it for 2 days. I tracked all the reports. It felt underwhelming. The report said it was underwhelming, and then after that, I never ran it again. Right now, I run Nev Belly, which is actually low-key like one of my like favorite marches. It's just like it's tanky, it's fast. I don't know, it's like kind of fun to use actually. And then I run Joan Arthur, which is actually the best Arthur pairing I found for me. All right, so. Do you have any other questions before we mess around with this, Kerr?
No. I think everything's answered. You have free range.
Okay. This one I will get rid of. There's no up. Oh wait, it's already unlocked. Wait. Oh, that's just on your hero right now.
I wish I could convert this over to another cap slot.
I know. Didn't you have a... Oh, you have a freaking spirited, don't you? It hurts. Let me think. Yeah. These we just saved for now.
They're so... I pulled them recently, too.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
I pulled them very recently.
Right, this one we're going to try to get Archer for sure. Okay, nothing to delete there. I'm pretty lucky with the
that one I wanted worked so well. That was on my Huo. I got unlucky.
This one, yeah. This one is actually worth resetting for you.
Yeah.
If I was gonna do it, I was gonna, yeah. Just because, like, what are you gonna do here, right? What's the so Watchman is like you take 1% less damage, and this is 1% more, 1.5% less damage, 1% more damage, right? And then if you compare that to the Focus Fire, 4% boost to skill damage. Like this is, I would take this over it. But is it that much better? Like, I don't know. You know, actually, wait, I take that back. Wait, enough. Wait, I'm getting a little confused now. Oh, here we go. I would take this over the one you have your Nevsky right now, actually.
Yep.
The cast speed is negligible, right? So you're talking about like more health. No, this is just better. This double is just better. This is actually a really solid double. this is already in a good place. If you got a focus fire, you probably would actually roll it for Kaz. So I wouldn't actually reset that right now. Okay.
I was thinking maybe the one Huo would be a hunter, possibly.
This for sure is a good candidate, unless you just have something out of the box that's better. If I got a hunter, I would put it on here.
Yeah.
For now. Right, but hold off on it as long as possible, just in case you get something better. And then this is very, very unfortunate. I would actually convert this over to a wedge eventually, because this first part is literally like almost useless.
Totally.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, so like if you like, you know, whatever the Ragnar Scipio equivalent in the future.
That one was unfortunate as well.
Do you have any crystals actually?
One. I wasted one,
Okay.
which was probably the most unfortunate thing I've done this game.
Okay. Okay, so let's do this. I think it's worth it for you to. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think the most value right now is to actually try to upgrade your archer slot with this. And you have 10, so let's actually roll. And then we're gonna stop at one archer stat. Okay. Wow. Okay, good. Oh, but you actually also hit an infantry. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now this for sure is way better now. And then we'll save this. Oh, you don't have anything saved? I'll do it for you.
No, I don't know how to do that.
It just says open. Okay, so when you click it, right, save. And I just like to do Archer 1, Archer 2, right, and then Cap 1, Cap 2, and then Inf, Arch, or like Inf Smite, and then Inf, like, Skill. So this is your best Archer.
A lot of all damage.
Yes. This thing would, like, dude, like, the big Krakens I know, they're all, like, lose their minds, like, the more all damage you can get. You're, like, scared to add more all damage. This is really good all damage, actually. Getting above 5%. Okay. Now this one, it's almost a waste. Because like, okay, you already have even keel though. Yeah. Kinda hurts. Okay. We'll mess with this for now, just to see if we could squeeze out something somewhere else first. This one I want to use I don't think it's worth it for the transmutation, because like it's not that hard to get a focus fire. And a focus fire I would take over these two. If it was like robust and Watchman, I would reroll this. Like Elite is solid, Watchman's solid, but like you don't. It's not like if one of these was like a breaker, assertive, or robust, I would actually roll this. And then what? Good. I thought I saw a. You had an assertive, right? Which slot was that on?
No, it's
It's on
oh,
the
I don't know
banner.
what slot
I
goes
think it's on
on.
the banner, right? Let's see. Metallics. I think in here. Might have been here. Okay, yeah. I think it's a slot. So this one you could definitely use to upgrade.
Yeah, it's probably my weakest.
Yeah, I would actually probably put it on here and then roll it. Because assertive is 2% damage on the map, which is just better than metallics. And you're actually starting from a way better spot. So that actually might be the other one. Honestly, other than that, I probably wouldn't waste your transmutation stones on anything. Till you could just like accumulate more or get like, you know, something with higher upside. Okay, so this one we're gonna put a assertive on here, okay? Because this one you could eventually put in the spawn on it too. And then we're gonna hope to get lucky. Ever seen Plato do this? Never seen someone make armaments so entertaining because he cares so much. He cares so much, and you can tell he's not a gambler. So like, the roller coaster is like so much more. Whereas like I'm you know, you can probably tell I'm almost kind of dead inside with the gambling. I was like, oh, that sucks. It didn't work. All right, so I'll try to get better. Okay. I'll stop there for now. Okay, so that's an upgrade. Oh wait. I don't know what was on your Richard, but I'll let you figure that out. Okay, let's do oops.
Pretty good infantry health on there now.
Huh? Yeah.
I said pretty good infantry health there.
Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, I would pull wedge. So it's kind of unfortunate because you have a freaking skill damage, right? But it's actually, if you run Lucha Alex, at least the Alex could benefit from the skill damage, right?
Yeah, I consider that too.
Magic skill, maybe if it's, but yeah. So for this, you have like 4 good inscriptions on every spot, which is like actually starting out like for a younger player. I think that's kind of the goal, and then you could build from there, right? Because then like if you want to roll it, you can upgrade it. You're not there yet. When you start getting into like the second march of a troop type, unless your armaments are already done, you're just kind of bored. It's actually very resource intensive to try to upgrade your second set. So what you want to do is you want to upgrade your first set, and then let the whatever you like replace roll onto the second set. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I have on my Huo right now.
Yeah.
As like just kind of like a I don't know, leftover slot.
That's fine. Daring. It's good enough for now. Yeah, honestly, that's fine for now. And then from here, would you rather work on this or work on that? This one, I would actually... I'm going to use up... Do I already reset all of these? There's no more left. Damn it. Like an addict. Okay. I'm not going to do it. Okay, but this one, if it was me, right, because you're going for something that you could eventually use, I actually wouldn't save the 1.7.
Yeah.
And I would actually just lock the 1.3 3.3, and you're just hoping to get something like. So for me right now, probably something like 2.5 is like the minimum I would lock, just because there's not as much room to upgrade for me, right? Like for you, maybe
Yeah.
it's like 2.2 for now. You will lock it, and yeah, but you actually see like there's just not much to do though when you kept your armament so clean. You know, there's yeah. And then if you get a special, dude, that's really good too. If you can inscribe, I would actually even inscribe it with this if you could do it with a special in the future.
I think I put that elite one
Oh,
on.
on there?
I
Oh,
think I
there you go.
inscribed that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good inscription that you did. Yeah, this will be the one. I would actually go for Cav. If you end up pulling in a Trepid, right? And this will be the weakest one out of the slots for you, because like I don't think it's worth it for you right now to spend like 10 convergence stones. Come over here, and then you have a forceful here, anyways. Yeah, this one. I know that's annoying.
Not great.
I wouldn't touch that. It's not really worth it. All right, cool. So we actually only use what, like 19 stones, something like that.
No, I think less. I think I had 24 coming in.
And I have 4 now, right? Okay, so
Oh,
no, we use
well.
20 stones. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but actually both of these are a lot better. Just because the inscription's a lot better, but also you have a project to work on. So like if you kind of, like you can save up, OCE kind of kicks in. You want to get this 2 triple stats, just so it looks better again. You could do that, but like it's in a better place now to actually like improve. Like whatever this
Right.
this was just, it looked pretty, but this is just not good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have like 550. Keep investing in Hua. The gold heads are like 550, right? 520.
Nah, like 520.
Okay, yeah, but by the time the infantry is announced and it comes out, you already be able to max them. But just don't max them when it comes out. Put all the commander specific heads you can select into the infantry commander, assuming he's good. I think he will be. Until you have a fight, and then you max him. Okay, and that's how kind of you get it. That's
Into
how
the infantry?
Well, into the next infantry, right? Because like, I mean, who knows, right? It keeps shocking me, but I would be surprised if Lucha Alex is better than Lucha in the next infantry. Right? Like I would just be surprised. And like this, it's just so freaking good. It's so good. It's because of this 3-second cooldown. But yeah, basically any new commander that comes out, next inf, next archer, don't insta max them when you have the gold heads. Wait as long as possible so you could, alliance mobilization, all those events, select and then you max them later, and then you'll basically you're already at that place now where you'll never actually be behind in gold heads again if you don't do anything stupid, right? And if you get further ahead, now, for example, the archer commander comes out and you have like 1100 gold heads, then you do the same thing with the archers, right? Unlock them, but don't instant max. But then you can start sneaking some of the gold heads into, say, like Heraclius or something else to finish them up if you need it, right? Like, basically,
do you think they're going to replace Hera with like another Hera 2.0? I guess that was kind of the worry of mine.
I don't see how that will happen. More likely, it'll be Hera and then another like commander, another leadership commander, right? If anything, I think YSS gets replaced and not Hera. Hera's just too good. Like his kit, like I don't. How are they gonna make this? I don't even know how they could replace him. Because if it's just a better leadership commander, like actually the guy that gets replaces YSS, not Hera. So Hera will be around, and then it's you want to do like double leadership, or you want to do something that like can have multiple troop types, like Orgo Hera, something like that. But I think Hera will be around.
Okay. But that's a project later on for me, not
way later on.
Okay,
Way later
cool.
on. Like, so
honestly,
honestly,
daily.
Honestly, let's
Let's
see.
see what
So
happens.
infantry comes out. You'll be able to max them. You'll be able to get further ahead. I think by the time the next archer comes out, you might be able to sneak in, like basically half finish a commander and finish the archer commander, and still be like okay for the cycle after that. But like all the commanders that are almost like worth investing in for you right now, you could just get through dailies too, you know. But like again, $5 a day, $150 a month for commanders, like maybe you don't want to spend that after a while. So that the whole idea
Right.
is like you will get to a point like where gold heads actually just aren't really a thing you worry about. You know, if you're just kind of active, do the stuff you're supposed to, you'll actually accumulate gold heads faster than you can use them, unless you're doing something stupid with them. Right now, that's me saying like talking about like field experience and not having to do rally or garrison. If you have to do that, that's a whole different animal that I haven't experienced. I don't really want to. So
Well, hopefully, I'll get that call. I don't
did you
think
rally
I will,
garrison?
but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think I'm getting it.
maybe. But yeah, but start saving up for your fourth march. I think by our KVK, you actually should have a fourth march ready to go. Whether you're doing it with William Wallace or with like Nevsky or something, you know.
And you're thinking I just bench Wallace for the time being?
If for now, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, I don't think you'll ever use William Wallace again. Honestly, you know.
That hurts.
Like you might use him when the new infantry comes out, like when you get to 2N, but then it wouldn't be the best pairing for him. It'll probably be like the new commander in Scipio and then like Lucia Alex or something. Like William Wallace, I don't know, man. Yeah, he's kind of
No,
he's better than Sargon, but it's just
that's not saying much.
unfortunate timing for him.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling when I did it. Um, and it seems like that was proven right.
Did you
So
actually get to
it is
use
what.
William Wallace in a KVK?
Yeah, I used him Kingsland.
How did
That's
you
when the swap came out.
how did you like him compared to Alex?
Um, well, I didn't get a tremendous amount of hands-on experience.
Yeah.
I was on vacation, so had very limited
Uh,
ability to play.
yeah.
But I was kind of just using Alex as like my gadget commander, fade popping, short skirmishes, kind of used him in that regard.
Yeah.
And then whenever we got like a full on like
Then,
bullfight,
then you would do William Wallace
then I
instead.
use walls.
Yeah. I'll try Lucha Alex and big ball fights too, and then well, I don't think you have the reports manager, right? I don't know. It's
No.
just, I don't know. This is probably the second best expertise in the game. This debuff. I don't know. It's just he's a very flawed commander, but he has a very short cooldown for an instant proc. Like no other commander has a cooldown this short. He has like one of the highest march speed. I think it might be the highest march speed for a infantry commander, right? And then he has probably the best debuff in the game and the second best expertise in the game behind Lucha. And like you pair those three things together with Lucha, like it's shockingly synergistic. And with anyone else, he's like outdated. It's kind of crazy how that happened. And I think because of that,
It is.
a lot of people just don't want to give him credit, and like I'm not like some Alex lover, but it's I like I literally tracked all the reports and I switched it around. I tried the different things. I thought Lucha Phillip was going to be better, and it's just not, and I don't know, Alex just keeps surviving.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I see that.
All right, any other like questions or anything?
No, I think I'm pretty good. Would you? Well, so I guess like with my gems right now, in terms of like just overall
Yeah.
gem management, 'cause I feel like my
Yeah.
spend has come down slightly from where it was at.
Yeah.
I know that you mentioned that like buying the equipment material chest out of
Yeah.
VIP stores good value.
Yeah.
I've been holding off on that just because my
Yeah.
gem levels have come down.
Yeah.
But what do you think the best usage of gems is for me right now?
So you're actually caught up on gold heads. It's armaments and equipment. Now armaments, one, you have to gamble, and then like two, I feel like the catch-up mechanism for armaments is stronger than equipment. So basically, you can actually spend less in armament, and the gap between you and like the top tier players will be closer than equipment, where you just need to spend more. So I would actually, if you had to prioritize, I would prioritize everything into equipment for you right now. Your bottleneck isn't going to be blueprints, it's going to be equipment, right? So for example, something like the egg event, which is actually more of a blueprint event than a equipment event, right? It has really, really good value relative to the VIP shop, but you just don't pull enough, right? So a lot of times people argue, well, okay, the Esmeralda's Prayer, right, or Daruk's has worse value than VIP shop, which is true. But when your bottleneck is equipment or materials, you want to actually catch up and like upgrade your account as fast as possible. It's not gathering more blueprints, which you don't need right now. It's actually figuring out a way to get as much materials as possible, right? So for me personally, I'm still there, and I actually, you know, because I'm a degenerate. I like gambling and I like armaments, so I do spend a chunk on armaments. But with materials, I always max the Daruk's, I always max the Esmeralda's Prayer, I always max the VIP shop. And then every once in a while when the Esmeralda's wheel comes out, I don't know if you ever done that before.
Yeah.
The Esmeralda's wheel is just like, even compared to the VIP shop, it's by far the best value, right? You can spend like, actually like 20,000 gems and like $20 or something like that or less. And you could get up to like 40 materials, something crazy like that. It was just like compared to how much I'm spending for other stuff, like this is like 2 or 3 times value. It feels like. I don't quote me on that. That's not the math. That's what it feels like, right? But
okay,
what I do right now is the Imperial Armaments that comes out. I'm not suggesting you do this. It's freaking like $385 every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I max that. I use the gems to then funnel into all the equipment events. Right. So basically, almost all my resources is going into armaments and materials, and that's just a place where you get the biggest upgrade. If I'm doing it right, for value, I should probably put even more into materials and less into armaments, just because my armaments are good. So to get an improvement, like the amount of improvement I'll get in versus like the amount of money I have to put in, I'm not getting as much out of it as if I just put everything into mass right now to upgrade, upgrade more, right? But I like armaments, so you know I do spend more on armaments than I probably should.
Yeah. Do you think I should still be doing like more than gems? Because my VIP is getting to 17, but it's not necessarily within reach yet.
Yes. I think the 7,000 gems is like a very reasonable amount to spend, especially if you, I mean, you could kind of like calculate, right? Or you could just do it every week. Basically, when VIP shop opens on Sunday night, for me, in US time, just don't buy it, right? And then like if you wait until the next weekend, you'll see whether more than gems is here, right? And if you're doing the materials, you're buying the 7,000 gems anyways, like that will already count towards that. And then like you can also do VIP on top of that you want, right? So like if you do it in a way where like you're not essentially buying the mass out of the VIP shop right away, you're gonna be spending gems anyways. Might as well get some extra gold heads out of it. That makes sense?
Okay, but you would recommend buying the equipment out of the shop over just putting VIP in?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, in our kingdom,
calling my name.
in our kingdom, like You should hit this like easily before the end of this month. Like this is
No way.
yeah, you'll hit this easily before the end of this month.
By the end of this one?
Yeah, by the end of March, to get like 330,000 VIP points.
I guess my other kingdom's a little more low spend.
Yeah, you should be fine, right? And like, honestly, like when we'll actually be fighting, like you'll be, yeah, like you'll be VIP 17 easily.
Cool. So I won't even worry about it. I know that's something that will definitely make a big difference. But yeah, I'm really just saving mats right now. I think I'm at like 1.5 pieces of like equipment right now that I can craft.
Yeah, let me see what this is.
Roughly.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh, wait. 58, 68, 72. Yeah, 72 mats total. Yeah. Yeah, just keep saving. I think a really good goal
I
for you
go
to shoot
calves,
for.
set boots.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. A really good goal for you is to basically have four marches, like 4 good marches by the time we have fighting. That shouldn't be too hard actually. It should be not hard at all for where you're at.
But wouldn't that require me putting gold heads in Huo then?
Hmm?
I feel like wouldn't that require me to put gold heads in Huo if I were to get that 4th March ready? Because I feel like he's still pretty far away from.
Let me think.
Right.
I think I was thinking. Man, I haven't thought about this dailies in a while. If you're doing. Okay, if you get 3 per chest, it's what, 90? So like at 180 in 2 months. And you're at
Like 5221.
5221. So you have like about 100 heads in here. Because this is 50, right? 50, and then I think it's like 15 and 15. You have about 80, 180. You might have to put some gold heads in here.
When does he become useful? Like 5551?
Yeah, you can do
And
5
usable's relative.
Yeah, it's relative. Depends on how far you push your tech and crystal tech too, right? The further you push it, you can get away with this a little bit. I would say 5551.
Okay.
I actually, let me think. I don't have him. I don't know which one's better. No, I think you want 5551.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terminator,
So,
you're in 2906 and you get 100,000 VIP points a month. I don't know, Vid. I don't know what to, I don't know what to tell you. 100,000?
Very good.
When I first joined 68, the first month, I want to say I got like around 500,000. I thought. I have to go look back at the video. But 100,000 seems kind of low.
Compared to my last kingdom, I was probably one of the higher spenders.
How much are you getting? How much were you getting a month?
I couldn't even tell you. Not a lot. I'd say no, probably like 50 to 75
in a month.
Maybe.
Really?
I don't know. I really don't have a good answer. But
I need to go check this out. You guys are making me doubt myself here. Like, I need to go check my video then that I made when I was in. I want to say I were like saw it was like about like it was like just under 500,000 that first month, and because
it's crazy.
No, I lied. I got 500,000 in 2 months. 500,000 in 2 months because I was 500,000 off, and I joined March 4th last year, and then our first fight was May 4th, and I remember hitting VIP 17. No, it was a month. No, it was a month. You guys have me all confused. I need to actually go look at my own video to see what I did. I just haven't thought about it in a long time. Um, remember that number. Okay, but anyways, anything else?
No, that's all I got for you, man. I
Awesome,
appreciate
dude.
your time.
Yeah, no problem. Look forward to fighting with you. Oh,
Yeah.
biggest improvement you could get. Somehow find a way to fight on like a laptop or a PC or something, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's completely different.
All right.
All right,
I will put that for then.
all right, man.